Yeah.
What?
That's our new Black Panther theme. Love it.
That's the new Black Panther theme with your over the track.
Right over it. Yeah.
That's solid. Yeah.
Yeah, they called me.
I was just thinking. I was like, what is this great track missing? I was like, oh right, Corey's rug burned face speaking over it.
Dude, spoken word over that would be fantastic.
Yeah, someone's spoken word.
Yeah, mine. Just absolutely the best.
You don't even know enough words to make that worthwhile.
We are Nerd Thug Radio, and I know all the words. This is Corey DLG, and with me occasionally is Nico DLG.
Hey, guys.
And today's special guest hosting, Zach the Attack. This is Nerd Thug Radio. We are on 104.5, 106.1. They're the sister stations. And you can hear us worldwide at IRLoneStar.com. Yeah, so I promised you puppies and grapefruit juice. I lied.
Weird.
Yeah, call somebody who cares. Yeah, that's the show we're doing today.
That's
oddly. Let's get aggressive.
Aggressive.
Let's get aggressive with the listeners today.
That's what we're doing.
How dare you listen to this show?
Yeah. Yeah, we're mad at you. No, honestly, I don't know. We're just kind of winging it today. We're having fun. So today, not today, but the other day, Marvel announced, basically last year they kind of got their butts kicked. They didn't do the stuff that they thought was going to be a big deal. Kind of people were mad at.
Talking about the old comic books.
Yeah. So they announced the other day that this year, 2018, is going to be like, it's like a relaunch year for them.
Wait, here's all new Marvel.
Not
relaunch?
Not quite that into like, not be all into all new again, but essentially they're like, hey, we're getting back to the stuff you guys really like.
They did go back to the original serialized numbers.
Right, which they're about to miss a huge milestone though. Avengers issue 700 is going to be coming up soon, but they're in the middle of some like miniseries and stuff that will cover that number. And
Fools.
Right, so they say they've got a workaround in the works for that. They're going to hit us with a 700.
What is the stuff we love about Marvel, though?
Right.
Like, we're going to get back to the stuff you love about Marvel.
So essentially,
I don't even know anymore.
So basically what happened
Marvel
last year...
movies.
I like mutants.
Right, so this is some of the stuff that from like 2015 through 2017 they were trying that just didn't land. The Inhumans replacing mutants.
I love the Inhumans, though.
Yeah, well, they're out. I mean, they're not gone necessarily, but they're not going to be the focus of the...
Which makes sense.
That could have been such a great story, though, right?
Yes, if it had been differently, but the way they kind of portrayed it, I think, set it up for failure. If you walk in and you go, I'm going to take away the X-Men because we can't play with them, and I'm going to give you the Inhumans because we can play with them, now it feels...
Right, but the whole storytelling piece of the Inhumans could have been so great, right? Like, whereas it's always been mutants, kids growing into being a mutant, right? Learning to deal with that and all the things that go along with it. Like the Inhumans, it's like fully grown adults get this thing thrust on them.
Right,
yeah.
But
you were normal, now you're a teleporting dog.
Right.
Right. Well, no, and I think partly that can be an interesting story.
But the reasons behind it, I think,
it led to a bad taste in the
right.
The modern
comics readers are a lot of things, but they're not too stupid to recognize like crossovers and tie-ins.
Movie tie-in. Right, like Black Panther's about to be featured in a bunch of stuff. Oh, that's a weird coincidence.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy.
Because he's in like the next 3 Marvel movies.
Yeah,
Duh.
Crazy.
So with all that going on, so one of the things was the Falcon was Captain America. So you had a black sidekick being Captain America. Well, now Captain America's going to be Captain America again. Tony Stark hasn't been Iron Man for over a year. It's been
because it's that woman, right?
It's a little girl, a young woman. She's like 16, I think. And then Doctor Doom has also been Iron Man.
Sure.
Because Tony Stark has been in a coma. Okay. So as Brian Michael Bendis is leaving Marvel to go to DC, he's putting all the toys back in where they go. So he's waking up Tony Stark from his coma. He's making Doctor Doom no longer Iron Man. And he's taking the armor away from the little girl. Okay,
so does Marvel think the things we like about Marvel are the same characters in the same roles telling somewhat new stories?
Yes.
Because I don't know that that's what I like about Marvel.
Well, but that's the feedback they basically have gotten.
I don't need to see every 5 years the X-Men struggling to fight Magneto and deal with Professor X not being around. You know what I mean? Like, that's not...
But...
How fulfilling is that?
But that's kind of what fans like the cyclical nature of comic books that... In the end, it always comes back to the big 3 coming back for the Avengers. And speaking on that, Thor's returning as Thor. So
Thor his hammer back after like literally
he's getting
5 years.
He's getting
so what's
going to
happen to Jane Foster?
Well, she's been dying.
Jane Foster, is that her name?
Correct.
Yeah.
Lady Thor's been dying here this whole time.
I don't think we should call her Lady Thor, man.
Well, she's clearly Lady Thor because Thor's back. Thor Odinson is back. So she's clearly Lady Thor.
She's Thor.
She was Thor.
Until Thor's back, she's Thor.
Well, that's the thing. So
And when she's not Thor anymore, she's not Lady Thor. She's just Jane.
So here's what's really messed up. In all of the preview stuff, he's already back with a golden arm and a golden hammer.
What?
He lost his arm at the very beginning of all these stories.
Oh, okay.
So he's been walking around with this black. It's actually black Uru, an arm made of black Uru that he controls.
All right.
So he's had that the whole time.
Okay.
So that's going to get replaced with a golden arm.
Okay.
He's going to get a golden hammer.
Go on.
They also have shown you the future where Jane Foster dies of cancer.
Ooh.
She's had it the whole time, and that's been the weird dynamic. Because every time she turns into Thor, that's hurting her fight against cancer. It's making her weaker. She's not as able to fight her cancer. So she's been choosing others over herself this whole time, selflessly, heroically. But she's dying because of it.
Right.
And essentially now it's come to the point where they've literally had the intervention and said, please stop this. Stop being Thor. But clearly something's going to happen where she becomes Thor at least one more time and dies. Because they've already they've shown that prediction of a dead Jane Foster. And they've shown the prediction of the fallen Lady Thor. So they're getting there in the comic book, but they're not there yet. And already they've announced and revealed that Thor is coming back. So, like, they're skipping some pieces somewhere, but they're coming.
But so, again, what is... Marvel's going to get back to the Marvel you love. Like, what does that mean?
Well, like, so they've reintroduced... Basically, now they have, like, 5 X-Men titles again.
Great.
They're all color-coded
Are
for
they
your
all-
convenience.
like-
X-Men Red, X-Men Blue, X-Men Gold. And they feature different lineups of the characters.
But, like, it's the same X-Men as ever.
I mean, it's...
There's a few new ones.
I mean, they're continuing all their adventures. Some of them are new incarnations of the old ones.
X-Men animated series. How many more characters are in the new X-Men titles regularly that weren't in the animated series? Ballpark.
Not as many as you... Right, no, and that's the thing.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
right? Like, at some point it becomes like The Sopranos, right?
Right.
The Sopranos... Tony Soprano went to therapy in the very first episode, yet never exhibited any character growth, any development from being in therapy. Is the X-Men just that? Like, Cyclops has got to be pushing like 90.
Well, he's dead.
Okay,
So Cyclops is
fair
dead.
enough, but that won't stick around.
Well, no, probably not.
Okay,
young
so
self-
Beast has got to be pushing 90.
Right, Beast is now... There's 2 different incarnations of Beast around. There's 2 different versions of Jean Grey around. There's 2 Icemen. There's 2 Angels. There's 1 young Cyclops around.
Right.
Magneto's around. Professor X is dead. Old Man Logan is in this world now.
Yeah,
is in
he's
this
back
reality.
alive, right?
Well, and the Wolverine just came back too.
Right.
So now there's 2 versions of Logan. Also, his son from the Ultimate Universe is here. Also, his clone that he treats as a daughter is here. And his son Dakin has been brought back. There's now 5 Wolverines.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
That's what we at Marvel wanted. 5 Wolverines.
Can I
that's
just
what
get
Marvel
another
thinks
X-Men
we
book?
want, right?
I want
Yeah,
five. I want 5
Duplicates of the
Wolverine.
characters we like.
Yeah.
So they're writing these...
So
and
the-
I'm not saying...
And technically,
that
what they are is they're different versions. So, like, you could find the version of Wolverine you like. Do you like Girl Wolverine? Do you like Serial Killer Wolverine?
Right.
Do you like young Wolverine struggling with Wolverininess? Do you like Marvel Comics Wolverine that we've all known and loved, who smokes cigars and has been with
Right.
like all the women in Marvel Comics? Or is it Old Man Logan who carries the grief of murdering everyone?
Right, but it's...
Pick your Wolverine.
Right, but it
Now
seems...
there's a Wolverine for everyone.
But it seems like
Right.
Marvel's taking the easy way out and saying, we have this property that people like, and we want to tell these different kinds of stories with a different kind of character, but we don't want to develop a character from scratch, so let's just make it old Wolverine, or let's make it young lady Wolverine, or let's
Right.
make it really crazy Wolverine.
Well,
because we got that Wolverine name.
Right.
Like,
Well, here's the thing: is like
why
people-
aren't there any new mutants? Like, what's going on?
Well,
Right.
there are a few that they've, but like they don't take or they don't have the support of the. So I'm not sure where this line is, where either the publisher kind of gives up on characters or they're just not getting bought at the same rate as other stuff, and therefore other stuff perform. Like
I don't even mean standalone books, though. Like, why
Like a supporting
why
character
doesn't
in
the
a
X-Men's
X-Men Gold
roster
team.
change? And it does, and I get
does,
that it fluctuates,
but
but like
it's essentially the
within
same-
very clear
right. Essentially, they
boundaries.
rotate the same
Bring-
like 20 characters.
Bring back Maggot, the best mutant ever.
Oh my god, shut up!
Like that was a terrible.
You're the worst.
Maggot and Marrow and Dr. Reyes. Those were the worst 3 New Mutants ever.
I didn't dislike Marrow.
I did. She was just like an angrier Wolverine, but grosser.
Right, with crazy bone
Like,
power.
breaks
And
her bones off of
And
her
a,
own body.
and a second heart.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. 2 hearts?
Yeah, because the first time you meet her, she's running the Morlocks.
And then she gets stabbed in the heart.
Right, because Storm was technically queen of the Morlocks.
Yeah.
Right.
Marrow tries to usurp her. Storm has to kill her in a duel and
Right.
does so by stabbing her in the heart.
Right.
Then Marrow shows up a couple months later, and they explain it by saying she has 2 hearts.
Right.
Wow, logic, guys. I got him.
Right.
That was the whole
I love-
Operation Zero Tolerance thing.
Love
Which was a cool idea. So here's what I would.
I just want to see.
other people.
I don't know.
So like they had a little while. The run was Wolverine and the X-Men, and Wolverine basically was running a school for mutants. So there were some X-Men. It was Wolverine, Beast, Iceman, Shadowcat, and a couple other characters,
Some other nerds.
and then a bunch of new mutants, like kids with mutant powers, and it was
Right.
going back and forth between the two. There's a lot of new characters.
Gold balls on that team?
He was not.
Aw.
Brood was. They found the first intelligent Brood. You know, the little cockroach ripoff of the
Aliens.
aliens.
Yeah.
He's the first intelligent one, and like he's like super intelligent and very shy. But every once in a while, he gets hurt and like enters rage mode and like
He's
tries
a
to kill
Brood.
everything because he's a Brood. But he's like this little adorable little like comes up to people's knees and wears a school uniform and has glasses. It's like it's a neat little dichotomy kind of. But anyway, so they had these kind of fun little characters. But then now that that's canceled, I don't know where those kids are.
Right.
And they're dead.
Right, they're gone again.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't need. I don't know. It's like there's
It's
not.
like introduce X-Men and then like bring them up like students.
That's what they used to do is generationally they had a young group. It was New Mutants, it was X-Force, it was Generation X. Every decade had a young, and then Young X-Men was the 2000s. Now this generation doesn't really have a young.
Well, right, and to tell different character-driven stories,
Right.
like you have to keep changing the personalities of the characters.
Right.
Otherwise, yeah, I wonder how Wolverine and Storm are going to interact.
Right,
Well, what if we made Wolverine forget he was Wolverine, and we made Storm, a mercy killer?
right. Yeah, I don't know. There's not.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Like, I like to see action in comic book pages, but like that's not why I read comics.
right. You read them.
I read comics for stories.
Right, and now I think Marvel, I think they were trying stuff and it didn't work, and so I think as an apology, they're kind of like snapping back this year, where it's like, hey, we're gonna show you all the stuff you used to know and love.
Yeah, we're just gonna. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know. I do love Marvel. I just don't know what I love about it, so I don't know what's going back to what they love.
I don't know if I'm entirely onto this.
Well, and I feel like every time they're against the wall, they just kind of reset back to the same stuff, and then they start from
Go back,
there,
go back.
and then it goes big out and crazy again. And with that, we're gonna get out to a break, and when we come back, hey, maybe those puppies and grapefruit are gonna show up.
Seems unlikely.
I'm always ready for a war again. Go down that road.